Hi there, Fred, FR5ED, 5 is silent, here to do a new beer review for me. New meaning I'm going to venture into a style I have not yet tasted. There's so many styles out there, and here's one I just haven't tasted. There's a style called Scottish ales, and that's because they're from Scotland. But within that style, there's the Scotch ale, also known as a wee heavy, W-E-E, wee heavy. Let me just read you a brief description of Scotch ales. In the 19th century Scotland, they'd also be known as 160, a nomenclature based on the now obsolete shilling currency. Interesting, or not. Scotch ales traditionally go through a long boil in the kettle for caramelization of the wort. This produces a deep copper to brown color. Compared to Scottish ales, they'll be sweeter and fuller bodied. And to me, that's kind of like Imperial or double IPAs are fuller bodied and typically sweeter than a regular IPA. I have to compare it to something I know. And of course, higher in alcohol, with a much more pronounced malty, caramel, and roasted malt flavor. A low tea-like bitterness can be found in many examples, best served in a thistle glass. I don't have a thistle glass, so I'll be using my tulip. Okay. This is Great Divide, the one I'm having today. It's by Great Divide, which I love the company. I've had their Titan and their, well gosh, they've got a Titan and a Hercules and different IPAs, double IPAs. But this is their Scotch ale, Claymore Scotch ale. And it is 7.7 ABV. And let's see, it is, oh gosh, they don't have IBUs or anything, but it's rated 94 overall and rated 87 within the style. On Beer Advocate, and by the way, that was after 438 tastings and reviews. Beer Advocate scores total up to 87, or average to an 87, and that's after 331 reviews. So anyway, it's something I'm looking forward to. It's a first for me. So let's get it open. Pardon me a moment. There is that time delay when I have to go through the bottle opening. It's open. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it definitely does look dark, but it looks kind of a molasses, a brown, dark molasses color. It's not blackish brown like a stout. Didn't get much head. Of course, I was not vigorous in pouring it. See if I can get any light through there. It's pretty dark in the glass. I don't know if that's hazy or just dark. So it's got the look of a stout or a porter at a glance, but when it was pouring, it wasn't quite as dark. Let's give it a smell. It smells good. It's got a sweet dark smell, if that makes sense. There's a fruity, pineapple-y sweetness. Maybe pineapple's not the best choice, but that's a familiar smell to me. But boy, the dark roasted malts are in there too. So you've got this combination of dark roasted malts, maybe a little bit of the coffee smell there, but coupled with a sweet, let me swish this around a little bit. But a definite, like pineapple-y melon sweetness in there too. So you've got that combination. Let's see how this tastes. Wow. Oh, there is definitely some kind of a secondary taste in there. I was going to say, it's got the dark roasted malt taste that is so reminiscent of a stout, of a porter or a stout. Definitely some sweetness there, not a heavy sweetness. It's only 7.7% ABV, but I almost got a little hint of the alcohol fumes there. Bitter, it's no more, not even as bitter as some stouts, but there's another taste in there. They mentioned a tea bitterness. Yeah, well, I know what it is. I'm not tasting a tea bitterness. I'm getting like a tannic astringency like you do with tea. Wouldn't say it's bitter, but I do get that kind of after effect, almost as if it's the tannins or the tannic acid in a tea. That is very delightful. as much as I am an IPA fan and go right back to those, this really is a nice change up. I'm warming the glass a little bit with my hands because it wasn't up to 50 something degrees. It was still down there in the 40s. But anyway, and I'm sure it's going to the flavors will come right up and become more pronounced once this warms up to proper drinking temperature. But wow, that was tasty. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit and warm up, but I'm going to enjoy the rest of this. In a world of Scottish ales, since I haven't rated any yet, on a 5-star scale, what would I rate it? I don't have anything to compare it to, but because it is kind of in the world of stouts and porters, being dark, roasted malt based, in that realm, I would 3.75 to 4. I like it. It's very enjoyable. Well, that's it for this one. This is Great Divide Brewing's I'm sorry, I almost said Hercules, Claymore Scotch Ale. And if you've not had it and you like or even think you might like stouts, porters, Scottish ales, give that a try. Good company, good beer. All right, that's it. This is Fred FR5ED, over and out.